Some people just can't help it. They're salty to the core and can't actually enjoy playing a video game. Are you one of them? There's a good chance that you are, so if you exhibit any of these signs, there's no point in being in denial anymore. These are the top 7 signs you may be a salty gamer. Clues that should tip you off that maybe there's a slight itsy-bitsy chance that you should a tiny little bit change your behavior when it comes to playing video games so, you still have friends. Or people don't just kick you the moment you step into a server. And if you don't exhibit any of these signs but still, you may know someone that does, get them to watch this. They may learn something about themselves. That being said, let's get it started with number 7, constant deflection. One of the most constant things you'll hear from salty gamers isn't that they're not salty. The ones that are really salty will not deny that they are. It won't even cross their minds to deny it. No. Instead, they will deflect. They will say, "What? I'm salty, but you're the one that's salty. You're the saltiest. You're the saltiest. Salt. You're a mine of salt. Compared to you, I'm just a tiny teaspoon of salt. You are the Dead Sea in terms of saltiness. I'm more like the Caspian Sea due to become a lake." They will constantly deflect and shift the blame of, the attribution of saltiness onto someone else, and they will do it all the time. Number 6, everyone is a cheater. Yeah, everyone is a goddamn cheater, like everyone. To a salty gamer, even when they play something that has random generation up the ass, like Hearthstone or Counter-Strike, yeah, Counter-Strike has a lot of RNG in it. They will constantly blame wall hacks, aim hacks, map hacks, hack hacks. They will report, they will insult, they will call you out and tell you that you're a good-for-nothing cheater, you are scum, you should die, something about your mother. Though, to be fair, they will just swear as a default. I'm not gonna even put swearing, I'm not even gonna put swearing in a separate category on this list because that's a given. Like, that's not a sign that you're a salty gamer, that's a sign that you are on the internet. And 12, and have probably not been beaten enough by your parents or have been beaten too much. So even without the swearing, a salty gamer will accuse everyone of being a cheater. Number 5, rage quitting. This is a staple of being salty. Rage quitting is sort of a rite of passage for salty gamers. You just can't call yourself truly salty until you've quit the game and rage, mostly leaving your team to die in horrible ways at the hands of the enemy that now completely outnumbers them. Such rage quits are usually followed by, not often, but some really salty gamers will try and shove their monitor through their keyboard. Now, I know what you're gonna say. You said it wrong. No. It's quite easy to shove your keyboard in the monitor. To shove the monitor in the keyboard, that takes effort. That takes a whole new level of rage. So yeah, while you may be salty just by rage quitting and by destroying your keyboard, your mouse, your gamepad, look out for those who go one step further and try to do as much damage as possible in a way that's extremely creative, like punching through their monitor or strangling the PC up to the chandelier by the mouse. Granted, you need a very small PC and a really strong mouse. Number 4, AFKing. Now we're getting to a whole new level of being salty. It's not enough that you behave like a 12-year-old and call everyone a cheater or quit. No, this is one step further. This is insidious by nature. You're not quitting the game because you know that may incur a penalty. That may give you a strike, that may give you a timeout, that may somehow adversely affect your account. So instead, you're gonna AFK. You're just gonna sit there in the base, maybe sometimes moving your mouse to not let the game kick you, or if it does kick you, you will reconnect instantly. Also, you can sit there doing nothing, seeing your team die, and not making any contribution. Now you've gotten to the passive-aggressive level, the real mean girl level of being a salty gamer. Number 3, actively ruining the game. This again goes one step beyond. You are now at the level of asshole. You are so salty that to you, it doesn't even matter if the other people are actually trying to enjoy the game. No, to you, everyone else on this server must suffer. And because most of these games are team-based, the ones in which you can be excessively salty, the ones that will suffer the most will be your teammates. Because you will, if it's a MOBA, you'll go feeding. If it's Counter-Strike, you'll just start damaging your allies. If it's Rainbow Six, you'll start tearing down barricades, blinding your allies. You will do all sorts of dumb things. And in games that give you more tools, you may end up doing something like flipping the table in Tabletop Simulator because something didn't go the way you wanted it to go. Now again, at this point, you're reaching the asshole level of saltiness. And that will show because number 2, your friends don't want to play with you anymore. Let's face it, when you get to this level, everyone that knows you will be actively trying to avoid playing with you in multiplayer. No matter what it is, they will actively try to avoid you, or if they have a YouTube or a Twitch channel that's all about streaming, they will try to get you to play with them just so they can record you being as salty as hell, swearing, rage quitting, griefing, and generally behaving like you're 12 years old and have not been beaten enough by your parents or too much. I'm honestly surprised that if you get to this level you still have friends in the long term. You probably won't. The only ones that probably still stick around are the ones who've never played anything with you. The lucky people. Though, actually, there's a chance you may be taking that behavior into the real world as well, so yeah, good luck on keeping friends. And number 1, you get mad at single-player games. Now, you may argue as much as you can. You may try to explain it, well, yeah, there were some enemies that were cheating, I did have lag, it wasn't my fault, it's your fault, you're the salty one, I'm quitting, I'm AFKing. You can justify anything you want in multiplayer and have a slight chance of someone actually believing you. But if you're playing in single player and swearing at the screen and rage quitting and calling the enemy, the AI a hacker, well, technically the AI does cheat a lot, but still, if you get to the point where you can't even enjoy a simple single player game without going on a tirade and pretending like your mouth is some sort of broken faucet that's connected to a vocabulary filled with very nasty words that you probably wouldn't say to another person, but you will say them to another person as well, and to an inanimate object too. If you get to that point, you are super salty. You are so salty that you will probably be a millionaire if you ever start streaming on YouTube or Twitch. Like 12-year-olds from around the world will gather to see you and pray to you as their new god because they have been beaten too much by their parents or not enough. Probably not enough. So those were the top 7 signs that may show that you are a salty gamer. I'd like to give a special mention to our own resident Captain Salty, who has sadly been less salty recently, so we haven't been able to exploit him for fun and profit. Mostly profit. But hey, Rainbow Six Siege just got an expansion, so we'll see where that goes.
If you enjoyed this show, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Or, if you thought it was horrible, then share it with your enemies and make them suffer. We shall be your weapon of vengeance. But if you liked what you saw, you could, I don't know, maybe donate, because basically YouTube is horrible at revenue, by using the link in the description, or just buy my book. It's a fantasy book about, well, a lot of stuff. I guarantee it won't suck, and if it does suck, you can find me here and complain about it.